The 1980s were the decade when quarterbacks became stars. If you judge a quarterback by pure, raw, uncoachable talent, then the 1980s were the greatest decade in NFL history. And it's not even close.
Let's score some damn points.
The defenses were brutal, the hits were real, and yet these quarterbacks still rewrote what was possible in football's toughest era. Let's count down the top 10 quarterbacks of the 1980s. Number 10, Ken Anderson. Before Joe Montana perfected the West Coast offense, Ken Anderson was already running a version of it in Cincinnati. Under Bill Walsh's early system, Anderson became one of the most precise and intelligent quarterbacks in football. He won the 1981 MVP, led the Bengals to Super Bowl 16, and completed nearly 70% of his passes that year. A ridiculous number for an era built around running the ball and hammering the quarterback. Anderson didn't have the flash of Marino or Elway, but he was like a surgeon. He understood spacing, timing, and leverage before most defenses even knew what hit them. In many ways, he was the bridge between old school football and the modern passing revolution. Number 9, Phil Simms. Phil Simms played the position like a prize fighter, taking hits, standing tall, and throwing with pinpoint accuracy. The 1980s Giants were a run-heavy, defense-first team, but Simms was a steady hand that held it together. When the moment came, he delivered one of the greatest performances in Super Bowl history. In Super Bowl 21, Simms completed 22 of 25 passes, an absurd 88%, and walked away with the MVP award. It was a commanding performance indeed, and it cemented his reputation as one of the toughest and most reliable quarterbacks of his generation. He wasn't flashy, it was all about fundamentals, and when everything was on the line, Phil Simms was at his absolute best. Number 8, Boomer Esiason. Boomer Esiason brought a level of confidence to the quarterback position that few could match. The first great left-handed passer of the modern era. He combined touch, confidence, and leadership in one effortless motion. By 1988, Boomer was the NFL MVP, running the Bengals' no-huddle offense with precision and rhythm. That same year, he led Cincinnati to Super Bowl 23, piloting one of the league's most dynamic offenses. What made him special was how smooth he looked doing it. Esiason didn't just throw, he conducted. He changed tempo, manipulated coverage, and fired darts between defenders like he was in total control of time itself. Boomer Esiason made left-handed quarterbacking look not just viable, but dangerous. Number 7, Randall Cunningham. Before there was Lamar Jackson, before there was Michael Vick, there was Randall Cunningham. By the late 1980s, Cunningham wasn't just playing quarterback. He was rewriting the rules of the position because of his ability to scramble. He could throw the ball 70 yards off his back foot, then outrun an entire defense the very next play. In 1988, he threw for over 3,800 yards and ran for 624, earning Pro Bowl honors and creating highlight reels every single Sunday. Defensive coordinators had no blueprint for him. He was too fast for linebackers, too strong for safeties, and too creative for anyone to predict. Cunningham didn't just play quarterback, he invented a new style of play, and that style is even more prevalent in today's game. Number 6, Jim Kelly. When Jim Kelly arrived in Buffalo in 1986, he brought more than a cannon arm. He brought attitude, confidence, and speed to the game. Kelly's K-Gun offense was ahead of its time, a no-huddle, high-tempo system that wore defenses down and pushed the pace before they could even catch their breath. He could sling it 60 yards on a rope, thread tight windows across the middle, and rally his team in a hurry-up like it was second nature. Even before the Bills' 1990s dynasty, Kelly was redefining what an aggressive, up-tempo offense could look like. Pure arm talent, fiery leadership, and a knack for controlling the clock without ever huddling. He changed how offensive football was played. Quick break. Drop a comment below and let us know who you think will be in the top 5. Now, back to the countdown. Number 5, Dan Fouts. More than a quarterback, Dan Fouts was a catalyst for how the modern game evolved. Under Don Coryell's revolutionary Air Coryell offense, Fouts turned the Chargers into football's first true aerial assault. He led the league in passing yards 4 straight seasons, including a jaw-dropping 4,800 yards in 1981.
West Chandler goes up and gets the ball, and
when most teams were still running the ball 40 times a game. Fouts wasn't afraid of pressure. He'd stand tall, knowing the hit was coming, and deliver absolute lasers 40 yards downfield. It was fearless football. He combined a gunslinger's confidence with a professor's understanding of the field. In many ways, Dan Fouts was the prototype for every high-volume passer that came after him. Number 4. Warren Moon. Warren Moon's path to NFL stardom wasn't easy, but his talent made it inevitable. After dominating the Canadian Football League and winning 5 Grey Cups, Moon finally got his NFL shot with the Houston Oilers. Once he stepped onto the field, he proved immediately that he belonged among the elite. Moon's throwing motion was poetry, smooth, compact, and deadly accurate. He had arguably the most beautiful deep ball the game has ever seen. By the late 80s, in Houston's run-and-shoot offense, he was scorching defenses with precision and power. Moon was elegance and intelligence in motion. He had all the arm talent in the world and the determination to prove that greatness doesn't need validation from anyone but yourself. Number 3. John Elway. With a cannon for an arm, the legs to scramble, and the will to win, Elway was built for the moment. When the play broke down, that's when Elway was at his most dangerous. He could roll out, reverse direction, and still launch a perfect spiral 60 yards across his body. In 1986, he delivered one of the most iconic moments in NFL history, the drive, a 98-yard march in the AFC Championship that sent Denver to the Super Bowl. He would lead the Broncos to 3 Super Bowls by the end of the decade, often carrying rosters that had no business being there. Elway's raw tools were unmatched, and his ability to rise under pressure made him one of the most feared players in the entire decade. Number 2. Dan Marino. Watching Dan Marino in 1983 was like seeing the future of quarterbacking unfold in real time. His release was lightning quick, his arm a rocket launcher. Defenses weren't ready, and by his second year, the records were already falling. In 1984, Marino threw for 5,084 yards and 48 touchdowns, numbers that stood as benchmarks for decades. He didn't need a strong run game. He didn't need a perfect team. Marino was the offense. His ability to read the field, anticipate routes, and fire the ball into windows that didn't even exist made him terrifying to play against. There's never been a purer thrower of the football. And even without a ring, Marino's talent still feels untouchable. Number 1. Joe Montana. Joe Montana's greatest asset wasn't just accuracy. It was his ability to handle pressure without flinching. Montana didn't just win. He mastered the mechanics and the nuances of the quarterback craft, running Bill Walsh's West Coast offense. He executed timing routes with machine-like precision. Every throw was calculated, every decision methodical, and every big moment somehow looked effortless. He won 4 Super Bowls, 1981, 1984, 1988, and 1989, and he took home 2 MVP awards in the process. In Super Bowl 23, Montana led a legendary 92-yard drive against Cincinnati, ending with a touchdown pass to John Taylor that sealed his 3rd ring. He didn't have Marino's cannon or Elway's athleticism, but nobody ever combined accuracy, leadership, and calm quite like Joe Montana. He was the standard for greatness, not just of the 1980s, but for every quarterback who's ever picked up a football since. The 1980s were the golden age of quarterback evolution. You had innovators like Fouts, pioneers like Moon, gunslingers like Elway and Marino, and the perfect combination in Joe Montana. They didn't just win games, they defined an era. They laid the foundation for the modern game and proved that pure talent can shine through any system, any defense, and any era. So, who's your pick for the most talented quarterback of the 1980s? Was it Montana's precision, Marino's arm, or Cunningham's highlight reel magic? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear it. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and check out our video on the strongest quarterbacks in NFL history. Because these guys didn't just lead their teams, they changed the game forever. Thanks for watching. This is Pro Kickoff US, and we'll see you on the next one.